Hey guys, so today I'm here with yet another Starcraft 2 commentary. So today I'm going to be doing a Protoss versus Zerg matchup. And this one actually is going to be on Desert Oasis, which is not a map you see every day. Desert Oasis, I want to just start by talking about the map, because this is, like I said, this is not something you see every day. As you can see here, by air, both bases are actually really quite close. It's pretty, but as you can see here, by ground, it actually takes quite a while because you actually go down and around, all the way around to the base. It's just definitely something to keep in mind. Definitely not a map that you do see every day. So the players are actually going to be, I might want to go ahead and mention that, the players are actually going to be aTNDarKFoRcE, who will be spawning as the blue Zerg today. And up here, spawning as the red Protoss, is mouzHasu. So definitely two pretty good players. I have seen matches of both before, so it definitely should be a pretty good matchup. So actually we do have, looks like actually a proxy pylon dropping down pretty early for the Protoss player, and actually this probe just kind of doing a little dance here. So actually it looks like we might see, definitely going to go ahead and see some early cheese here. We do have a gateway morphing in right below the Zerg main, so that's actually definitely going to keep a watch on that. That's kind of not something you see every day. Definitely going to look like we're going to see some kind of cheesy build. And actually, there we go. We do have two gateways going down. Wow, so this is this is definitely something pretty interesting. It does look like the Zerg player is going to notice this. The Zerg player is going to see that there are two gateways warping in right outside his base. So that's not good. that ought to get you to pay attention. So she's going ahead, dropping the spawning pool. Yeah, there we go. That face pretty much should sum up what sum up this kind of cheese. Yeah, but actually we do have, there we go. So we do have this first gateway going ahead and getting a zealot out. Actually we do have a overlord coming in here. Taking a look here, and if he hadn't noticed it earlier, he would obviously see right now there's nothing going on in the Protoss main. So we do have the first zealot, which is going to be running up here, and actually, go ahead and take a look at the units. Yeah, there's nothing actually on the field for the Zerg player. Yeah, this zealot pretty much can do whatever it wants. It's actually got a little bit of backup there. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and start killing quite a few drones. So, but there we go. So we do have a few Zerglings coming out, about perfect timing. It's going to go ahead and take that zealot out. But there, of course, is two more zealots over here. So this is not good for the Zerg player. With two gateways right outside your base. But if you can go ahead and get a lot of Zerglings out, and we do have a spine crawler trying to build as well as a queen here. So really do need to go ahead and let the spine crawler build. So really try to defend against all these zealots. Actually, all the zealots are very, very low on shields. We'll go ahead, just a couple more blows will pretty much take them all out. There goes one zealot. That queen's doing a really nice job. Does not want to get your queen off the creep. Oh no, there's four zealots. Better get off that creep, get on that creep, get on that creep. There we go. Now they're going to go ahead and try to send these Zerglings in. Several of these zealots are pretty low health. But definitely do need to get this spine crawler. There we go. The spine crawler is complete. That should definitely do quite a bit to help defend against these zealots. But there are four zealots here, with two more reinforcing, and these gateways are pretty much constantly pumping. So it looks like the Protoss player is trying to end the game early with a really cheesy build, putting two gateways right outside the Zerg base. But the Zerg player does have quite a few Zerglings, 21 Zerglings, and it does have one spine crawler. So, kind of a little dirty play, I guess. Well, it's not dirty, but a really kind of a cheesy build, trying to take them out early. But it does look like the Zerg player is going to go ahead and hold this off for a while. So actually going to go ahead. These zealots, absolutely though, doing their job of keeping the Zerg player in his base. So actually, it looks like these Zerglings are going to go ahead and run out. Going to go ahead and get a good surround on these zealots. Actually, these Zerglings look like they will be able to go ahead and clean up what's left of this Protoss force. It's going to be pretty close. The queens are actually going out to go ahead and defend, but actually, wow, almost all those zealots did a really good job. Look, so many of them are almost no health at all. Wow. So, nice play by the Protoss player, not letting those Zerglings really get a lot of damage in. So, going ahead, they need to spawn larvae. This is not good for the Zerg player. Actually going ahead, doesn't need all that many more zealots to go ahead and finish off the Zerg player. Actually, while we're looking at all this, we go ahead and take a look here. We do have a cyber core down for the Protoss player, but it looks like all of his units, all of his minerals have been devoted. Actually, we do have a stalker, so it looks like all of his minerals have been devoted to this, this kind of cheesy attack, going ahead and getting all the units can. Really does need to, the key thing, in my opinion, right now for the Zerg player to do is spread the creep as far as you can, because the queens are so much more effective while they're on the creep. If you can go ahead and get the creep to the ramp, that queen, the queen cannot take on all those zealots at once. These Zerglings need to move in here. You're going to be really close. Yeah, there we go. Actually, they were able to kill that creep tumor. Actually, we do have a sentry there too. But as I was saying, you really, if the Zerg player can find a way to get the creep as far as possible, so those queens are so much better on the creep, as well as your Zerglings, they can do a lot more damage to this Protoss force. But it looks like the Protoss not being stupid, going ahead and dancing back and forth, not really committing to an all-out attack. The Zerg player though is actually going ahead and dropping a Roach Warren. So actually, if the Zerg player really needs to keep the Protoss player from actually taking a look at that Roach Warren. Actually, go ahead and take a look here. What was that? Actually going ahead, morphing into the Spine Crawler. Oh, but that's not good. That Spine Crawler might not be able to make it. Nice force field going down there, kind of holding off the... Oh, and that Spine Crawler? Yeah, that Spine Crawler is not going to make it. So these Zerglings are actually not that great. These Stalkers and the Sentry are doing a lot of damage from back. Yeah, that Queen, Queen needs to back off. Again, though, that is quite a few Zerglings, so wow, this is a really nice play by aTNDarKFoRcE here, able to go ahead and hold off this. And take a look at the APM. Yes, both players' APM very, very high right now. You really got to be able to control. You can see here, let's see, so many of these Stalkers, yeah, several Zealots are very, very low health, but doing a good job of keeping them all alive. So actually we do have Warp Gate, let's see where, I just heard that. There we actually have another pylon, so it looks like we would go ahead and try to warp units in right outside the Zerg main. So really doing the best, the Protoss player is really doing his best to try to go ahead and end this game as fast as possible. Still do have, actually these both are Warp Gates here. Doesn't look like the Protoss player, yeah, is going ahead, is getting a forge, but really, actually, oh, are we going to see cannons now? Great. So the Zerg player actually does have, going ahead and sniping off one creep tumor, but as I was about to say, the Zerg player does have a good amount of creep spread all around. Actually going ahead and going to spread another creep tumor, but really got this nice so that it's actually even going down the ramp right now. But yeah, there we go, photon cannons. So wow, the Protoss player is pretty much pulling out every trick in the book to every kind of cheesy sort of trick. They got 2 photon cannons, got warp gates. Actually, we do have some roaches up on the high ground, but there's enough units to go ahead and hold them off. Actually, I think with all these roaches there though, actually it might be a good idea to go ahead and get some more stalkers. The Zealots can only do so much, and these Zerglings are kind of hanging back here. So there we go. So we do have 1 and 2 photon cannons complete. Wow, so this is about, you look up cheese in the dictionary, you're going to see this, especially for a Protoss player. You got cannons, you got warp gates, you start out with gateways, doing this best, but the Zerg player is actually doing a great job of holding off all these attacks. Even though you're confined in your base, you're not really letting anything happen. You're going ahead trying to snipe a couple of these creep tumors. Let's go ahead and take a real quick look around here, though. We don't really have anything else going on. So actually the Protoss player is up in the base, and there's not a whole lot for the Zerg player. God, man, this is a bad place for the Zerg player to be in. Just barely holding on. But actually, yeah, there we go. I have quite a few stalkers here. Actually, yeah, we do still have that, and what is this? We do have a robotics facility right outside the base. So, man, this is this is the ultimate cheese. This is. But I'm really impressed with how aTNDarKFoRcE is able to. A lot of lesser players would have been taken down by this. There's so much harassment going on by the Protoss player, and the Protoss race, as you can see here, obviously has a lot of options for the for cheesy sort of builds. You can go for cannons, you can try to sneak pylons, gateways. There's all kinds of kind of cheesy stuff you can do. But the Zerg player is not, hasn't been fooled as going into any real big confrontations that are avoidable. Able to go ahead, just play it smart. Defend while you can, but you go ahead and try to save as many units as you can. Actually, there we go. So this robotics facility is complete. We actually do have an observer. So I guess going ahead and having an observer to spot. We do have a Nidus network. Actually, I like this play by the Zerg player, going ahead and grabbing a Nidus network. So go ahead and try to get some way out, because really, this is hard. I mean, as a Zerg player, you really just can't. I mean, you're stuck in there. I mean, there's really nothing you can do. But going ahead and building yourself a Nidus network, and going ahead and trying to get out of there. Actually, we do have a creep tumor over here. Actually, let's see. There we go. So the Nidus network is prepared. There we go. So the observer is going to come in here, and the observer is going to see this. So now the Protoss player has got to be really cautious about where that Nidus worm is going to come out. Actually, I have no idea. There's stuff all over this map. Oh, come on, find it. There we go. So actually, the Nidus worm is coming out here, going for a counterattack. So we have a bunch of Zerglings in the Protoss main. There's nothing that the Protoss has to do. They have one warp gate there. Actually, you do have one cannon, but not anywhere near enough to go ahead and deal. But actually, the Zerglings look like they're thinking about retreating here. I'm actually going ahead and warping in a couple of Zealots. Actually, that's not a whole lot. But actually, now the Protoss player is not trying to do anything else. So there we go, getting some more in. But yeah, those 2 Zealots cannot handle all those Zerglings. But we got to really be careful. Yeah, here we go. So the Protoss player is going for a counterattack. The Zerg player really needs to pay attention to this.